We'll shift gears and start talking about the Mendocino complex, Dan, to our south, but it's really feeling like there are fires to our north, our south, and we're really just in the middle. Well, Monica, right now the Carr fire is the largest fire in Shasta County history. And if you look over here, you can see the incident map beside me that's referencing the fire size. It's over 110,000 acres right now. Buying a red nose makes a difference, but wearing a red nose makes an impact. All right, everyone, nose is on. She's the owner of a popular bookstore in Old Town. Now, she's a best-selling author. Lindsay Chamberlain's role here at St. Joseph Health goes beyond what we typically think of as the role of a pharmacist. One of the things that I learned today was that a car seat shouldn't be able to move more than an inch in either direction if it's properly installed. Among their many skills, firefighters have to get into their turnouts or firefighting gear in under 60 seconds. I took much longer than the required minute and needed a little bit of help. What was that word of the day you gave us?
Virga. Virga.
Virga.
Yes.
Is that like when it's sort of like being in the produce section, where it's like misting, but not raining?
But it doesn't quite reach the produce. Yeah, it comes out of the thing and falls apart by the time it reaches the lettuce.
Cool. Dan teaching us things. Well, thanks so much for tuning in tonight. We'll be back at 6.
A historic day for Justify winning the Triple Crown.
Absolutely, 13th horse ever to do it in history, and today was National Rosé Day. So if you were a Vino Rosso fan, it was kind of sad to see him come in 5th. And I have to say, I've been pulling for Justify all along. He's like the second behind Seattle Slew to ever have an undefeated Triple Crown.
While the Trinidad Civic Club holds that the lighthouse must be moved before the next rainy season to keep it from falling into the Shirai village, protesters are concerned that the temporary solution could be the cause of a permanent problem. As the County Board of Supervisors considers the future of cannabis cultivation in the area, what they're looking at is both a social and an environmental issue. Why the waterways? The coroner assures me foul play's not expected. Just after 6 o'clock last night, a stolen semi-truck would hit a tree here at the Eureka Elks Lodge. That truck stolen from Ayers Distributing. It was a dark and stormy night. So begins the novel by Madeline Lingle, A Wrinkle in Time. Another way that you can be a good steward for our oceans is to use this, the recycling bin. There are no less than 60 wildfires burning in 13 states, all in the midst of what some people are calling a record heat wave. So I'm wondering, first of all, if that heat wave is something we're going to see here, and second, if it's affecting the fire season. The moving process won't be easy. Consider, for example, that the bell behind me, built in the 1800s, weighs more than 2 tons. Well, Monica, when we hear numbers like 110,000 acres, most of us can't even fathom what that looks like. But what's more unfathomable is the damage left behind in neighborhoods by the Carr fire. Right now, ash is still raining from the skies. This neighborhood relatively quiet as neighbors have not come back in yet. You can hear choppers overhead as they make their way to what remains of the wildfire, which is only 30% contained today.
This is the worst fire I've ever seen. They wiped out a lot of homes and a lot of acreage in Redding and Whiskey Town, and it's just really sad.
This is the first time Luann's seen her house and her neighborhood, the ruin left behind.
Yeah, it's the first time we've seen it. Came all the way down our backyard, our fence, and then stopped before it got to the house.
You could say she's one of the lucky ones because her home still stands. Her betta fish still swimming in a kitchen just feet from a backyard that is positively scorched.
Thankfully, our house survived, which is hard because so many people didn't.
Fire came within a mile of my house, so I've had a lot of friends that have lost homes.
Glenn works security at the Tehama County Fairgrounds, where the National Guard and out-of-state firefighters are staged before and after they go out to the front lines.
Firefighters are doing a really good job, and God bless them. And, they're working hard, and I see, they're up early, and they come back, and then they eat and go to bed, and they're working 24 hours on, 24 hours off.
Despite 2 firefighter fatalities, crews still march to the fire. In gratitude, the community scrambles to show their thanks, sometimes on polished signs, sometimes on bits of cardboard, boxes, old sheets, and scraps of paper.
I know everybody will, once all the people leave that have been helping us out, then we can help each other too. So whatever we can do. After speaking to members of this community, devastated by what is now the largest wildfire in Shasta County history,
They assure me that this community will come together and rise from the ashes. In Reading, Sierra Ferguson, Redwood News.
He's trained to protect and serve. But today, Canine Officer Barron is claiming his spot in the limelight, clamming it up with his partner for a good cause, supporting Companion Animal Foundation.
It's a fundraiser that we started in 2015. We wanted to do something fun to raise funds for our mobile vet clinic. So we did Cats and Casanovas last year. Heroes and Hounds 2019 is the calendar this year. We wanted to celebrate all the local heroes we have in our community, and we did not get to shoot everyone that we wanted to shoot. There are so many heroes here. We're so lucky in Humboldt County. We have a lot of people that really care about our community and that volunteer and give back.
Teachers are really important because they help students learn
in fun ways.
They teach us how to learn, read. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't be able to do all those things.
Teachers play such an important role in society, but their numbers are fast declining.
The data shows that in 2001, 2002, we actually had around 75,000 folks in a teacher prep program in the state of California. And as of 2014-15, that had dropped to under 25,000.
And it's almost an alarming national trend that the teachers are not interested in pursuing that profession.
But what accounts for this shortage of educators?
Teachers don't make a ton of money.
Teachers are not paid as well as they would want to be paid.
We're on number 3.
I've heard that in some schools, teachers actually go out, spend their personal money to bring school supplies. So those are not very attractive conditions for some people to become teachers.
Perhaps it begins with the perception that the cost of becoming a teacher outweighs the value of being one.
The cost of education has gone up. So if you're a teacher and you're not making enough money to repay your loans, you have a disincentive to become teacher.
And so we're seeing the effects of that, here locally.
Pressuring schools to issue emergency teaching certificates.
At the end of the day, we know one thing, and that is that the students are going to come to school. And we want to provide them with the best teachers that we possibly can. And so in some cases, if you're not able to find a candidate, you look to find or utilize a waiver to give the teacher the opportunity to be in the classroom without the full credential.
The problem with that?
Putting teachers in these rooms with a waiver or a special credential or something that is legally compliant, but really people are entering into the classroom unprepared. They don't have the appropriate training to succeed as a teacher. And so we have a decrease in teaching candidates through credential authorization, but an increase in unprepared teachers entering the classroom. And that's not a trend we can continue to have. Statistics show that if somebody's entering the teaching profession without really the right support and the right training on the front end, the likelihood of them finishing their career and maintaining the profession really goes down.
So how do we work to keep teachers? To encourage them to complete credential programs under the threat of crippling student loan debt. We'll explore that tomorrow on Redwood News. For now, reporting in Eureka, I'm Sierra Ferguson.